Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review, and everyone's telling me do a review from your hotel. So Plastic Addict George, this one's for you. Even though it's a 2-pack, I know you said you wouldn't do it, but I don't have any other singles to do. I have Thor, but you know, that's not like an exclusive or anything. So here is the Captain America, the first Avenger, Steve Rogers, Captain America, and Peggy Carter 2-pack. So this is an Amazon exclusive. It is up for pre-order now, and I don't know what the exact date is because I didn't bother putting in an order. I got notification from my buddy Anthony. He sent me a picture that somebody had posted saying that they got it from the Amazon treasure truck. So I texted the whatever it was to get up, because I'm signed up for it in the Sacramento area, not down here, so I had to re-sign up based on the zip code here, and then I got the link. I was able to order and picked it up. It was actually right by the parking garage where I parked my car, so it worked out perfectly. And here it is in all its glory. It is amazing. I can't wait. So I am going to open it up in here in a second, but loaded with accessories. Captain America, the first Avenger logo on the side. Here we got to look at Peggy Carter, Agent Carter herself. There we have Steve Rogers, Captain America. Here's a look at the two characters in the package. Let's take a look at the bio and then open it up. Captain America, driven to help out his country during World War II, Steve Rogers enlists in the military as part of Project Rebirth. After he impresses the scientists in charge of the project, Steve is injected with super soldier serum, increasing his strength and physique. He becomes the patriotic hero Captain America, fighting for freedom throughout the world. Peggy Carter, a British agent with the Strategic Scientific Reserve. Peggy Carter is a capable soldier and strategist. She is part of Project Rebirth, which developed the super soldier serum that was injected into Steve Rogers. When Project Rebirth ends, Peggy continues to assist Steve as he becomes the world's first superhero, Captain America. And my God, those bios were extremely long compared to what we normally have. But there are the figures. Let's open them up. Okay, and here are the Steve Rogers and Peggy Carter figures out of the package, and I'm very happy with this set. Anytime we get movie figures, you guys know me as MCU Collector, I am extremely happy to get any MCU figure, even if it's another Iron Man, even if it's another Captain America, because sometimes they really switch it up and give us something different, so it really helps add to it. And then when we get new characters like Peggy Carter, like I never would have thought we would have gotten a Peggy Carter figure, and yet here we are with a Peggy Carter figure. So pretty cool. So we're actually going to look at Peggy Carter first, then we will look at Steve Rogers because there's a lot more going on with him. Peggy is just Peggy. There's really no accessories that she comes with. So let's take a closer look at her. Okay, so here is Peggy Carter up close, and she looks pretty good. Now, usually Hasbro with their female figures can do a great job with these digital face prints. Here, I see Haley Atwell, but it's not the greatest. Now, keep in mind that movie was a number of years ago. What is it, 8 years ago, 9 years ago? She was much younger and had a very different look compared to now, so they're doing it based on old footage and things like that. So what they have here is pretty good. I do like the way it looks. There's no additional paint in the hair or anything. It's just a straight brown color, and that doesn't look too bad. The figure's kind of weird. It's pretty lacking in articulation. It's just, you know, not something that we're really used to with Marvel Legends. Even for a female figure, it's lacking even more so. But the figure itself does look really good. Like her outfit, her army outfit or SSR outfit does look really good. You see the gold pins for the SSR, so that came out looking really good. We got gold for the buttons, black tie, white shirt. All looks pretty good. She does look pretty pale, but if you watching the movie, she was pretty pale in that. So she doesn't really come with any accessories, but Steve does come with this gun, and this gun actually does fit in her hand. It's a little bit tough to get that finger into the trigger, but you could use this. And there's a close-up of the gun. Looks pretty good that we're actually getting a realistic gun. There's brown painted on the handle. Other than that, it's gunmetal gray, so that looks really good. There are smaller pistols that other figures have come with that would fit a little bit more easily in Peggy Carter's hand there. And then one thing that's kind of weird on mine is because they have to paint the feet, you know, the feet are the shoe color, then they paint the skin tone over, and it just looks kind of weird. And then one thing I don't like on this, and I know the DC Multiverse signature Wonder Woman had this problem, is the seam in the legs. Like, why would they put the seam right in front? I don't understand that. Oh wait, maybe it's her nylons, I guess. See, but that's in the sculpt. This is in the paint, so that's not a big deal. Well, I guess that's actually kind of sculpted here too. You can feel it. I don't know. I think maybe that's just an error that the seam came out so bad. So it's not terrible, but it's not the greatest. And then there's kind of a little bit of split on the foot in there. So I can get past it. It's not ultimately not that big of a deal, but I mean, come on, right? Just one of those things. But again, looks really good. Now let's take a look at her articulation. So the head can go side to side. You get some pivot in there. You can get her to look all the way down. Not going to get her to look up too much because the hair is going to hit her back there. Shoulders can go out super high up, probably a little too much even. You get a full rotation there, of course. It is a single jointed elbow, so even though it's a new sculpt, we're still only getting the single jointed elbow, so then that gives us a swivel at the elbow, and the bend you're going to get, that's just about 90 degrees. That's it. Wrists swivel, and they do hinge, and it's the same hinge on both hands. There's no ab crunch or anything. It's not even really a diaphragm joint. It's almost like a waist diaphragm because it's way up here. So she can pivot to the side like so, pivot to the other side like so. As far as crunching forward, tiny bit, going back a little bit more, but not a whole lot in there, and then you could always do like a full swivel in there. So now the skirt piece, this is a rubber piece. I don't think it's something you can remove. Maybe if you heat it up, you can remove it. I'm not sure. But that's going to hinder a lot of things in there. So the legs are only going to come out that far apart. I apologize for all the noise in the background. You know, I have kids in the hotel room, so it's okay. You can put that away and close the fridge. Can't get the legs to go out far apart because, again, the skirt is getting in the way. So that's pretty much it. You can get a double joint. It's got a double jointed knee, but you're only going to get about that much bend because, again, the skirt is going to get in the way of that. There is a swivel up there somewhere. I'm not sure exactly where, but there is one. The foot hinges down quite a bit to an unnatural look, and then you can go up on the hinge, and then there is ankle pivot in there as well. The feet do look kind of funny, but good articulation for this figure. I like it. Now let's check Steve Rogers out. Okay, so here is the Steve Rogers Captain America figure. I've always really kind of liked this look in the movie, and I'm glad that we get it in figure form because I never would have thought this either. Now, I first want to talk about these head sculpts. So it is supposed to look like a much younger Steve Rogers or Chris Evans. Did they nail it 100%? No, they didn't. Does it look a little weird? Yes, it does, but it's much better in hand. And from the side profile, boom, that's Chris Evans. Maybe not there. I see it there. There, I see it, but nah, not quite. So there's two head sculpts. There's that one and this one. And to be honest with you, there's not a whole lot of difference between the two, so I'm a little kind of confused. His face is a little bit skinnier on this one compared to this one. But one of the big things is that his hair is flat on this one, or is not really flat on this one. And then this gives you the benefit of using this helmet, which is a whole separate piece. It's just kind of a rubbery piece. The goggles are part of the sculpt. It's all painted nicely together. But this helmet fits much nicer on this head. We probably should have just gotten a sculpted head like this. You know, it wouldn't have been perfect, but I think the size of the helmet would have been a little bit better, whereas this seems a little bit big, but that does look good. You can just pop these heads off and switch them around like so, and you know what, I really like the way this looks. This is how I'm going to be displaying it, so I really like that. Looking at the accessories, we get two different shields. So we get kind of the battle-worn prop costume shield piece that he used as you know, the Captain America back at home when he was performing, and then we also get the prototype Captain America shield that we know of now, but it's the one that's not painted, so that's pretty good. I like the way that looks. This one I like, and I'm so happy that it's got the handles to hold as opposed to like the clip piece that was just gonna break on me. So I'm glad we have it like that. We get a couple of different guns. So we get this machine gun or rifle, so we get some brown painted in the handles, and then over here on the barrel. So that looks pretty good in the gunmetal color. We also get that pistol that I showed you earlier with Peggy Carter, so it does go right into the holster, but when you have the holster, you can't really close. Oh, I couldn't do that earlier, but I got it now. So you can close it, so that's pretty good. It says US on there. And then he also comes with the knife, which goes down right into the sheath and on his leg. So good amount of accessories, very happy with it. One thing I kind of like is that this brown leather jacket, they actually put some light brown shading in the sleeves and a little bit on the jacket and the torso itself to give it that leather, worn leather look. So I'm glad they did that instead of just going with the flat brown. It's nice that we get a little bit of those color differences, helps it stand out. But on the back of the figure, there's nothing. You'll notice here on the hip versus the legs, different plastic, so the colors don't match exactly. Under bright light is when you really notice it. It's not that big of a problem for me. We get a little bit of white paint in the blue for the his shirt. Looks like the knee pads have a little bit of a different color. We get some browns for the straps here at least, and then down here in the ankles and the feet. And you know what? I think that looks really good. So looking at the articulation, we're going to pop that helmet off. So Steve can look down even though it's really stiff. Can look up, so that's pretty good. Shoulders come out that far apart there. You get a full rotation, of course. There is an upper bicep swivel there. We get a double jointed elbow, which works out really well. We get a swivel at the wrist, and the hands do hinge. We get the same hinge on both sides. Now he has this the belt, the utility belt. It's got some silver buckles and a little bit of dark green in there. So that is here, and you can remove it. It clips. Oh, you know, it's glued actually right there. So it clips on this side. Sorry about that. And this can be removed. You just pull it off, because that it will kind of hinder the articulation a little bit. Now I like it better with it on than without, because this, even though it's a jacket, it just doesn't have that bulky size of a jacket over the torso, whereas this kind of helped cover that fact up. But we're here, we get a little bit of the paint in there, but we don't really get it so much in the lower portion of the torso. And one thing is, mine seems kind of turned, constantly just wants to go right back. So you guys will have to let me know if that's something that you're experiencing yours. But so we get a diaphragm joint, so we're going to get some pivot in there, or a lot of pivot in there, probably too much so going that other side as well. But crunching down, we pretty good, but then we get some gappage in the back. Crunching back, we get a little bit too, but then we get a little bit of gappage that's shown there. But it's done pretty well. It just kind of looks funny. Again, even from the side view, right? It looks funny, so I'll make sure to keep this on when I display it. We get a waist swivel there, so full swivel. Legs can go out that far apart, which is great. That's a huge amount and range of motion. Kick forward that much, kicks back a tiny bit. There's an upper thigh cut there that's a little bit stiff. We get a double jointed knee, which is weird because then we get that flat big knee. There is a boot swivel down here just below the knee, and that's on both sides, so that's pretty good. We get a foot that hinges all the way down, hinges up a little bit, and then we do get an ankle pivot. So great articulation on Steve Rogers. Alright guys, and that is my review. Sorry for the hotel review with the shower noise in the background, but like my man Plastic Addict says, I'm not a real YouTube figure reviewer until I do one from the hotel at Comic-Con. So here we are. So you guys let me know down in the comments below. Are you guys going to be picking this up? Again, Amazon pre-orders are live right now, and I think early August is when they are expected to arrive. But you guys let me know, are you going to be picking it up? What do you think of both of these figures? What do you guys think of the review? Let me know. If you guys liked the video, hit that thumbs up button. Please subscribe if you haven't already done so. And as always, guys, thank you for watching.